Welcome back. With us live over the phone is Professor of Economics, Dr. Sahar el Damaty. Good morning, Dr. el Damaty.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
Thank you.
First of all, we're talking about the inauguration of an integrated project, the first of its kind in Egypt and the Arab world and even in the continent of Africa, and classified as the first project in the world in terms of integration of the production process after quartz was exported abroad with minimum bounds. So how important exactly is that particular mega project that was inaugurated by President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi in El Ain al-Sukhna?
It's really quite important because of industrializing the mineral resources of Egypt economy. As you're aware, Egypt is rich in mineral resources such as iron, phosphate, white sand, gold, black, gypsum, magnesium, etc. All of these are used actually in a number of industries, such as electricity, fuel for transportation, plastics, energy, minerals, and they include coal, oil, natural resources, and magnesium. So all of these minerals are very important for industrialization, and also they open the door for exportation, accordingly bringing sources of foreign currency.
Dr. Damaty, what is the importance of industrializing the mineral resources to the Egyptian economy? We all know that Egypt is full of natural resources. So the concern of focusing over those natural resources and trying to industrialize or to initiate some industries from those resources and thinking of expanding the export sector and on that particular industries. Talk to us about it in detail.
In detail, you know, it has a very big importance economically because actually these resources are used in the manufacture, for instance, of glass, ceramics, molds in metal casting, in white stones, in different types of stones, also in the manufacture of glass and of ceramics. Just to give you a quick idea, it is used for five uses primarily, which are the end products, such as oscillators for watches, clocks, radios, televisions, electronic games, computers, cell phones, electronic meters, and GPS equipment. So as you see, these are core in industries and in very highly demanded products in the industry.
Right. Also, what is the value of production of quartz ore known as the white gold?
The white gold is actually the platinum. Platinum, as you're aware, it's a precious metal, and it is really valued for its very strong durability, versatility, and it is also prized because it's resilient to tarnishing and corrosion. And primarily, platinum is used in jewelry and in a lot of other items.
So it is mined from the Red Sea Mountains?
Yeah.
Exactly. So are there any places that we can get source of that ore other than the Red Sea Mountains? I mean, all over in Egypt? And that's why it's situated in El Ain al-Sukhna?
Yeah, the major quarries are around this area. And that's why this is the location, to be around the quarries from which they extract the quartz products. And hence, and actually they created a lot of roads around this area to enable them to reach easily to the quarries and accordingly put them in the production process, and based on which they start exporting them, providing them for the private sector to also manufacture the products. The complex actually is established on an area of 56 dams in this place. So that's the importance of the location.
Right. We're talking about a kind of industry that it's first of its kind in Egypt, in the Arab world, and also in the probably in the whole region. And the type of industries that could be derived from that white gold, that treasure, that ore, that could be useful for other industries and other, companies who might be in need to import that particular production of, from our industries it's numerous. I mean, talking about the importance of that particular industry, how important is it?
It's very important because, as I just mentioned, this product is refined to yield silicon. The silicon is important for computers, for instance,
Right.
for technology. And all of these are important for our mainstay of modern life. And as I mentioned, in addition to that, we're talking here about oscillators for watches, clock, radios, TV, electronic games, computers, GPS equipment. All of these are very important, not only in our modern life, in our day-to-day life. So by providing the main raw material, which is abundant in this area, it helps in the growth of the industries and in exportation, and also enable the government to boost investment in a number of those major producers of electronic games and TVs and computers to be able to come to Egypt and start manufacturing in Egypt.
And also that is going to take Egypt to a whole new level, competing with countries like Japan, like India. I mean, those who are taking the lead in that type of manufacture. But let's also talk about the idea of benefiting from all this amount of industries and production. And probably there could be some studies to observe the needed amount to export to the international market. I mean, we should be thinking in a total new way after, reaching that level of industry.
I agree with you, and accordingly, I believe the Supreme Council of Investment has approved last week around 22 resolutions are very important, and most of these resolutions are toward boosting investment, enabling Egypt to export around $100 billion a year. In addition to that, giving incentives to the private sector and to investors from multinational areas to be able to come in Egypt and invest and obtain incentives, not only in land with very low prices, but also in terms of taxes. So the Supreme Council, there is also something very important to boost investment, which is dispute settlement committees and supporting industries by offering them lower interest rates for loans at a time when, as you know, inflation is very high, and accordingly, central bank has been working hard to increase interest rates in order to curb inflation. So I think this is coming amid a number of core resolutions which have been approved by the Supreme Council headed by the President.
Right. Any economic boom, any sustainable development process is basically based on some main elements. Among them is the small and medium enterprises or the industry and the development in industry or the industrial development that is considered the backbone for any economy. So if you like to elaborate over the importance of industrial development and how could be able to empower it and enforce it, similar to that particular complex in Ain al-Sukhna, in order to be able to reach on a level to export all our industries and maintain economic development.
Very important, really, because as you are aware, industry is a labor-intensive industry. Accordingly, you have in a country where you have more than 100 million people, you will be able to deploy them in a number of industries. Number two, the strategy of Egypt, which has been approved last year, 2022, is based on a number of pillars, the most important of which is industrialization, self-sufficiency, enlargement of the private sector in the economic activity, primarily the industries, import substitution policy to be implemented in order to decrease the level of foreign currency needed in the country. And it's looked at as a major tool for boosting a level of foreign currency to 100 billion new levels. So I believe industrialization is important. Plus, on the top of all of this, it's core for the increase in the GDP of the country.
That's true. So the complex of quartz ore factories in Ain Sokhna, it is located in the middle of the mountains, the Red Sea Mountains, which the state has seen or keen to construct a supportive road for the quarries operating in that region. And that is in order to support the mining activity. What is the significance of the location first, and how does that reflect our keenness on establishing industries, as the book says, that also focus on quality, that also reflects how we are developing economically, how we are developing in some special fields that we haven't been exploring before?
Well, as I mentioned before, really, I mean, the location of the industry is important because it is near the quarries. And from the quarries, you extract the necessary minerals that we just mentioned in order to be able to produce all the major products, among which is what we call the white gold. And most of the minerals that are used for mineral use for primarily the GPS, the clocks, the silica sand, the manufacture of brass, of ceramics, of the molds in the metal casting. All of these are cornerstones. So you needed to have it in the proper location of the quarries. First of all, it decreased cost. Things, in addition to that, expedite the industrialization, and thirdly, the production of the product.
So what is the state's plan to optimize the use of Egypt's natural resources and attain a value of minerals extracted from the white gold?
Well, actually, as I mentioned, Egypt has been concentrating over the past period on the production of minerals. Egypt is rich in minerals resources, among which iron, phosphate, white sand, black, and gypsum, magnesium, etc. Those are core for industrialization of what? Electricity, fuel for transportation, plastics, energy, minerals such as coal, oil, natural gas, uranium. So this is a cornerstone for a number of industries in Egypt and for exportation as well.
Right. Dr. Sahar el Damaty, Professor of Economics, would like to thank you so much talking to The Breakfast Show. Now we're going to go to a short break and we'll come to continue the show, so stay with us.